This video is part of a course entitled The Successful Scholar, which can be found on udemy.com, teachable.com, or thinkific.com. There's a book available as a resource in both paperback and Kindle formats on Amazon. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll check out the full course. So we're going to look at Kolb Learning Cycle and the Kolb Learning Theory. So Kolb is very widely used on college campuses. David Kolb is the developer of the Kolb Learning Styles, and he based his research on the theory of Jung, Rogers, and even Piaget. The Kolb Learning Style Model is divided into 4 different styles, which derive from a 4-stage learning cycle. This learning theory provides an understanding not just of individual learning, but also on the 4 quadrants, and explains the cycle of learning that can be applied to all learners. Kolb's learning styles are split into 4 general types, including diverger. This is a feeling and watching. We would say CE and RO. Assimilator, which is watching and thinking. A converger, which is doing and thinking. And the accommodator, who does and feels. These are all 2-dimensional. Are you getting that? So the diverger learner is both concrete and reflective. These learners search for the answers to why and how. They learn best by observing, gathering information, and avoiding conflict whenever possible. An assimilator prefers the most logical course of action, with their strength being thinking and reflecting, and sometimes they even overact. Logic, organization, and a strong sense of control are essential characteristics for assimilators. They benefit most when given time to reflect on new information. Convergers also prefer to work alone, but with their own ideas. They search for well-defined tasks. They learn by trial and error. This type of learner is an expert problem solver, although they generally like to work independently. They work alone. Lastly, our accommodators are people-oriented. These are our people. They are extroverts. They are the extrovert of that Kolb learning style. So accommodators are action-oriented, they're task-motivated, and they're very creative in their thinking process while they take risks, and they also will avoid routines, right? So these people don't really like routines. They have feeling and intuition, and these are a great value to them. So Kolb continued his research, and he learned that learning itself is on a cycle, and he proposed that learning occurs through experience. So within his theory, experiential learning possesses 6 attributes. The first one is that learning is a process. It's not an end result. Second, learning is a continual process. Third, learning occurs when there are conflicts to be resolved within a learning experience. Fourth, learning is a holistic process. It is looking at the world in the whole thing. Fifth, learning is actually a result of an interaction between an individual and their environment. Lastly, sixth, learning is a process of creating knowledge through experiences. So knowledge is created with an interaction. So within this Kolb learning style, remember that we have those 4 learning modes, and these are concrete experience, reflective observation, abstract conceptualization, and active experimentation. Let's look at each of these individually. The concrete experience mode describes people who feel more than they think. Individuals in this mode tend to be very good at relating to others, and they tend to be intuitive decision makers. The reflective observation mode describes people who would rather watch and observe rather than be active participants. These people like the exposure, but they don't really want to get their hands dirty. The abstract conceptualization mode describes people who think more than they feel. These are your scientists, right? These are people who have a scientific approach to problem solving as opposed to that more artistic approach. Lastly, that active experimentation mode describes individuals who take an active role in influencing others as well as situations. These individuals appreciate practical applications rather than reflectively understanding what is happening. They want to participate, not observe. Now, Kolb further stated that within this learning cycle, all 4 processes must be implemented in order for optimal learning to occur. Each mode of the learning cycle indicates one step toward the completion of a full learning experience. Now, listen also, learning is not linear. Therefore, anyone can begin at any point in the cycle, but they would need to go through all of these stages and all of these cycles in order to really complete the learning experience. So how do you determine your learning style in the Kolb Learning Style? This is a little more difficult than maybe some of the others. So to determine this one, you actually will need a Kolb Learning Style inventory. It has to be completed. There are some quick assessments which will give you a good idea, but they certainly are not as reliable. The results of the actual inventory are very good, very reliable. And they are going to identify one of your 4 learning style types: accommodating, assimilating, converging, or diverging. A certified inventory report will assist in recognizing the methods of personal learning effectiveness, as well as assisting in guiding an individual in how to best learn their learning style in a work environment, professional, career, a personal, academic. You want to be able to see how you interact in each of these environments.